What a night at Sharjah Cricket Stadium for the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, literally blowing the Sharjah Warriors away with the ball. A superb performance by pretty much all of their bowlers, to be honest. The Sharjah Warriors just didn't know where to put themselves, posting a very small score, which took the Knight Riders not too long to chase down. A very happy captain for the night there, Dre Russ. As you can see, if we have a look at the match summary, the Knight Riders winning by 7 wickets there. The Warriors just not putting up the runs. No answer for the Knight Rider bowlers, and as you can see there, made pretty light work of it to take the 2 points, and they are still, if we have a look at the leaderboard here, they're up the top with the 8 points under my Emirates. They are looking good in this competition. The Sharjah Warriors, there is work to do for sure. If they do not win one of their next 2 games, I'm not sure I can see them finishing in the top 4, that is for sure. I've got Niall O'Brien, Waqar Younis, and one of the men of the moment, Ravi Bopara, alongside me. Ravi, congratulations, a great win. Well, you just dominated them in all facets, really. That must be pretty pleasing. This must be a really good team to be in right now.
It's a very good team to be in. The players, the management, and everything that's, put on for us at the hotel in Abu Dhabi. We've had a great time so far. And I think it's showing on the field as well, so we're really happy at the moment. You're
not the first player to mention this hotel. It does sound very nice.
Oh, the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh,
my God. It's the best hotel I've stayed in. It's unbelievable.
You want to come and you come and have a look at our hotel and we'll go and visit yours. I think that'd be good. Niall, Waqar, that'd be good, eh?
Oh,
yeah, we're going to have a wee look.
Don't start mourning here.
You what?
Don't start mourning here.
I don't mind. A lovely young lady. I'm a bright spark. What are you talking about? Ravi, 4 for 15 with you, the ball today. A great performance. You like these conditions. Tell us a bit about your bowling tonight.
Well, look, I think it was set up really nicely from the first 6 overs. The 2 left-armers, Little and Willie, really won us the game there. They made it a lot easier for the rest of us to come in and bowl. Look, we did speak a little bit about the wicket. We thought that it was going to be your typical Sharjah wicket, which is, it's shiny, it's skiddy and low. But we got here and it was sort of green and a little bit spongy. So that's when I came into the team. And it behaved very different to the usual Sharjah wicket. Yeah. It's not like you've played it many times, and I've watched many times, played it many times. It was nothing like the Sharjah wicket that I've played on in the past. A little bit different, but it wasn't a great wicket, I must say.
Niall, do you think that the Knight Riders just bowled that much better, or the Warriors in part actually just made bad decisions with the bat?
I think it's a bit of a hangover from their loss last night, really, truth be told. They played poorly, they got bundled out cheaply, and sometimes the best thing after a bad loss is to get a game straight away. But I think even sensing the vibe around before the match, you can see the Knight Riders are up and about, whereas the Sharjah Warriors, a couple of new players into the side. That was a difficult night. It was interesting, Ravi, you said, so you came into the side when you saw the pitch. So you're expecting maybe a dry surface, maybe turning, no Narayan, maybe a Lintott or another spinner, and then the coach said, oh, hold on a minute, there's a bit of live grass now. Ravi, get your spikes and get your pads.
Exactly right. It was between me and Lintott, but because it was a different type of wicket, it looked completely different, then they went with me. So,
but you hardly bowled a seam-up delivery.
I actually bowled quite a few. I was just bowled slow now, so it looks like I'm not bowling them. But I think once they were trying to attack, and on here, if you took the pace off, it was the right option. Especially, if it not for the left armers who bowled with the new ball, I think it was the right thing for them to do was get as much movement out the pitch as they could, and there was enough movement there, and we're lucky enough to get the early wickets as well. I'm
holding a cricket ball with great conviction here, like I know what I'm doing, but I'm going to get you, if you wouldn't mind, just for our viewers, you used the knuckle ball a lot tonight. Would you mind showing them, the audience, and these guys probably know a thing or two about it, show me how it works and where you put your hands on the ball and the like?
Well, first of all, I actually found it at the start very difficult because these are not the balls we've been practicing with. So we've been practicing with the other kookaburras, which are slightly different. I think these ones have got a different coating on them, which can be scary trying to bowl a knuckle ball with them because it can slip out. So it took a while to get used to it, but I think the purpose of the knuckle ball is to get movement. These white balls, we've come to know that these white balls do nothing off the surface. They do nothing in the air.
But you can't bowl with a sort of wet ball with those knuckle balls.
It becomes a lot harder. It becomes a lot harder with a wet ball under the dew. But the purpose is to get some movement.
But tell me, why were you hiding it? I mean, do you really need to hide that ball?
Well, because I still want to bowl my pace-on deliveries as well. Because if I just run up like this, it's a little bit too obvious. Because behind my hand, I can still run up and bowl a seam-up or a cross-seamer, and obviously the knuckle.
What I'm trying to ask is basically, when you got that hand on top of it, because you're holding the ball in your knuckles, Do you really have to press it just to keep it in your hand, because you don't have big hands, so it's very difficult.
No, you're right. Well, it took me 2 years bowling it into a net and all that sort of stuff. It took a while to get used to it and get confident enough to do it in a game. I did try to run up just like that and put it like that and do it, but you don't get the same effect with the ball. The point is to get maximum effect with it, because you can bowl a knuckle ball and it's just a slower ball, and the point is to get movement either way.
Yeah, your ball was sort of nipping back also with it.
Yeah, well, that's like when it becomes that perfect, it nips off the pitch, or it sort of wobbles in the air or moves in the air. But that's the whole point of it. Otherwise, it's pretty pointless bowling it.
So 2 years it took you to perfect it. At what point did you know I've got this in the bag and I know consistently I can get it right 9 times out of 10?
Well, I can't get it right 9 times out of 10, but I played a lot of twos cricket back home to test it out and stuff. So that was the main thing, just playing as much cricket as I can and bowling it as much as I can, bowling in the nets over and over and over again, just to get used to it and get confident enough to do it.
Ravi, you're 38. We've played a lot of cricket against you. What was the catalyst to say, I need to add to my armoury at the back end of your career?
I think for so many years I got away with that back of the hander for a good 10, 12 years. But guys have just got so good at hitting the ball now. So you felt like I needed something more. Also, I got injured. My side got injured and I couldn't bowl that ball because I had to crunch down on this side to get that over. So I didn't have it anymore, so I had to find something else. And actually, there's a couple of guys who actually helped me with it. There's a video or documentary I watched on baseball of how it works, the science behind it, and all that sort of stuff, which was interesting. And Benny Howell, I think, was good for me because he thinks about the game a lot, like myself, and he helped me sort of work out how to do it. But he's got bigger hands.
Yeah, hand size does seem to be a thing for the knuckleball.
Yeah, it helps.
But look, sometimes you mentioned it doesn't always go right. There might have been one tonight that just I don't know, just talk us through this. I've been put up to that. Now, how did you feel like that? That's where you wanted that to go?
That can happen.
Yeah.
If you're going to bowl that sort of, if you're not going to hold the ball properly and you're going to hold it in your knuckles, that can happen, and you just got to accept that could happen.
Is it harder with the new ball as opposed to maybe when it's a bit scruffy, the older ball?
I think it's much harder with the new ball, but you get more effect with the new ball.
I noticed you have your thing. Do you put something on that to make that harder to help?
No, so
I don't think you're allowed. Are you put anything on that?
No, you're not. The key is, I think, is that you're constantly practicing. Otherwise, once this gets soft, then you're in trouble. You know, the spinners, when they rip their fingers. If they're soft and you haven't been practicing, you haven't bowled for 6 weeks, then good luck. I mean, this seam just rips it apart. So you've got to make sure you're constantly doing it to keep that hard.
Well, it looks good.
Can you bowl with like a cross seam also with it, or no?
I've tried cross seam, but you don't get as much effect because it doesn't catch the atmosphere as much, because it could come out like that and catch the atmosphere and drop, or it could come out straight. But once you go cross seam, then it sort of just rolls over, and then it becomes
One last question, but how do you know when you bowl that knuckle ball that if I land at sort of certain area, it will just snip back or go away? How do you, do you have the side which you keep left or right?
You don't really know, to be honest. You just let it go and hope for the best. Sometimes you come with a higher action and it will go away, or come with a lower action and it might dip in or something like that. Or sometimes it just goes the opposite direction. You just got to try putting it in a good area and let it do its thing. Yeah, and hope for the best. Sometimes a lot of this game is based around hoping for the best.
Good man.
Fortune favours the brave. Yeah. Hey, I love that. That was really interesting. But I would also like to talk about your teammates tonight, your fellow bowlers. Man of the match, Josh Little. He was superb with the ball. Do you like watching him do his thing?
Yeah. I mean, he bowled very quick today. I thought his pace was up today, and he was well up for it. I mean, that catch he took as well. I enjoyed watching him bowl today. There was a bit of zip about him today, which I really enjoyed.
He's actually put a lot of his performance down to his agent, Niall. You got any thoughts or feelings around that? I did full credit to him.
Well, listen, what he has done the last 2 games, he's been given the new ball.
Well played.
That is massive for a left armour to be given the new ball and say, listen, bowl fast and swing the ball. And I actually think having David Willey up the other end has been a massive plus point for Josh Little. But he's a 140k bowler. You know, he can get up to 145, 146. He was there in Abu Dhabi a couple of days ago. It's confidence. It's all about confidence. The whole Knight Rider camp looks like they're brimming with confidence, and long may it continue for all the guys in purple.
And of course, with the backstage preparation and all that, you know, with the Neil around, you know, things are really working well.
Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all coming up roses. Let's talk about David Willey Waka. We've seen him do so well in this Knight Riders jersey for most of the tournament. He talked about having a few games taken to get used to the conditions, but he's certainly used to them now.
Yeah, he had a mixed bag when you talk about the entire tournament, but he's pure match winner. He doesn't have that pace, maybe what he had maybe a year ago, or maybe a bit more, but the control he's got, he swings the ball back into the right-hander, always threatening the stumps and always, you know, round about that 7 meter mark. And if you can really bowl in that region with the seam up, giving that backspin on it, most of the time you do get plenty of swing. And today we saw that when he didn't get a swing, he was just sort of pulling the length back, but the odd delivery when he pushed it up, swung big.
You would have played a lot of cricket with him, alongside him, against him. What's he like? He looks very serious. We've talked a lot to him about how he reckons he's got David Warner on toast and the like, and I appreciate the confidence. Well, what's he like in the dressing room?
We give him a lot of banter about being so serious, but he actually isn't. He's a good fellow. He's been brilliant so far. He's been the sort of guy in the middle who's been initiating everything. He's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed him this trip, and on top of that, he's an excellent pro. He's such a good pro as well. You know,
and he seems to be enjoying this tournament. What do you make of the tournament? You having a good time here?
Yeah, I'm always having a good time. Any tournament I go to, I love it. And this is my 2nd year in this tournament. It's a great tournament. I hope it continues as well. I enjoy any tournament, all of them.
You love cricket.
I love cricket.
He loves Dubai. He loves the UAE, and he loves Abu Dhabi because he loves cricket and he loves golf.
Yeah. I do love golf.
Is that it?
Okay, so this is really the perfect tournament for you. Yeah. We must introduce you to Simon Doull. Hey, thank you so much for your time today. Congratulations. You can go and have a rest and relax. You earned it. We will see you very, very soon. What I do want to talk about now is the Sharjah Warriors. They are not brimming with confidence like the Knight Riders we have just seen tonight. It is, it's an interesting old thing, because I feel like they're the Knight Riders of season 1 without sounding horribly rude, but that's sort of the feeling I've got. They've just lost their confidence and that they're losing their way a bit.
I thought they started really well. They enjoyed playing here. All the victories have come on this very ground, and they enjoy this pitch. I'm not sure if they enjoyed the pitch which was offered tonight, and because there was ball sort of sticking and keeping low, and it wasn't easy to bat on. But they didn't help themselves. You know, they should have realized after losing the first or maybe 2 wickets that this pitch is not where they need 160, 170. This pitch could have been easily 120, 130. But they just kept swinging their bat and thinking that they'll get to 160. I think it's a lot to do with the toss. When you lose toss, you start sort of getting worried that what sort of total the team needs, and then you start playing false shots and cross bat shots, and this pitch wasn't the pitch where you play cross bat.
It's an interesting strategy to keep coming out and keep going hard. You know, where does that come from? Is that from the individual? Is that from your batting coach? Or is it just sort of lack of game awareness? What is it?
Well, it can't be lack of game awareness because this is their home ground. So first and foremost, my big thing coming to the ground today was, right, Sharjah Warriors, home game against the Knight Riders who haven't played here this season. So immediately you're thinking advantage home team. Make it this ground, make it the theatre where you get your wins. We saw the graphic of the league table. The big plus point for Sharjah Warriors and Johan Botha and the JP Duminy and all the owners, they're not out of it. That's the beauty of this tournament. Everyone is still thereabouts. My Emirates have qualified, but there's 5 teams scrapping for 3. So somehow Tom Kohler-Cadmore and the management have to put the last couple of games to bed. You know, I said to you before ball was bowled this tournament, Laura, I felt their team was totally imbalanced. They've 4 opening batters, 4 very fine opening batters, but 4 into 2 doesn't go. So they're trying to almost fudge their batting lineup, fudge their 11. You know, Tom Kohler-Cadmore for me is their best batter. You know, Martin Guptill is a fantastic player. They should be opening their batting. Dickwella from Sri Lanka has made the same mistake 3 times. That's not good enough. So they've got a lot of work to do. But the big point, they go up to Abu Dhabi in a couple of days to try and get some revenge.
They're in must-win territory now, that is for sure, at this stage of the competition. But I feel like their day was relatively well summed up in this moment here when the Sharjah Warriors took to the field with the ball. And look, all looked like it could be all on. Great celebrations, bit of a send-off, which I'm kind of here for. Whoopsie daisy, where's your foot?
Poor fellow getting his first game, and he thought he got him, and they needed wicket early on, and he was all excited, thinking that, oh, I didn't play in this tournament, I got a wicket early on in the game, team needed it, and there you go, heads back, and had to go back and bowl a couple of deliveries after that, wide and no balls, and it was all over. It was all over.
It was, your heart really went out from the poor guy, and the way he steered him down too just gave it the, yeah, on your bike, son. Oh, no, hang on. But there has been, I should say, throughout this tournament, a bright spark in Jawadullah.
Yeah.
Another 3 wickets for him, 3 for 5. What an outstanding player he is.
Yeah, well, I'll let Waka talk a little bit more about him, but I'm just really impressed by the attitude he brings to every single game. Every game he comes with the mentality to make a difference to the game. And Waka, you might tell us a little bit more about his skill set and his armory that he brings to the table.
Look, he was a little lucky today that he picked up 3 wickets because the wickets he took were like on a wide deliveries. But yeah, overall, if I assess his tournament, he's been a really, shining light in the side, because he swings the ball, he gives that, energy in the middle overs when they're really needed. Sharjah Warriors, he's got a very unique kind of action, the hopping and getting into the action, and he generates good pace. I think he's got a bright future. Don't worry about his hopping. If he can generate a pace and swing the ball, match winner.
Well, the Warriors get another crack at the Knight Riders in just a few nights. The next match-up tomorrow, though, features David Warner, the superstar that he is. When we come back from the short break, we're going to find out a little bit about why he loves India. We'll see you soon.
Why are you such a popular man in India?
I think popularity comes with embracing culture, having the respect, the gratitude, and, when you get to travel to different parts of the world, India just stands out for me with the whole experience. There's the perfect reason why it's called Incredible India, because it is amazing. The people, they're so welcoming. They've always got a smile on their faces no matter what. The food is outstanding. The hospitality in general is unbelievable. During COVID, it was a sad time for everyone, and doing some dances on Reels and TikTok and stuff, I felt like that was a way to connect people and put smiles on people's faces. And I think popularity probably grew a lot more through there. But as I say, you have to embrace culture, you have to respect culture, and that's one thing I've always done from a young age. Yeah, Pushpa, it's something that I watched, and a lot of people were calling me Pushpa for some reason, so I learned to do the action, and from there it was just took off, and it was a big hit. But no, when you go and field on the outfield, people start yelling out to you, so you want to give them something, then the DJ plays the music. They're here to watch the game, but they're also here to watch people entertain, and if my small part of entertainment is giving the crowd what they want and have a little dance, then I'll do that.
Very warm welcome back to Cricket Safari. We're at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. What a game if you're a Knight Riders fan. What a game. Putting aside the Sharjah Warriors, they get a chance to go head-to-head again in a couple of days. But the big match-up tomorrow, it is the Gulf Giants taking on the Dubai Capitals. David Warner, the captain, found a little bit of form. Let's find out what his teammates think of him.
Yeah, he's a very young kid, just retired from international test cricket.
I think Davey's just a big kid, to be honest. High energy, likes to have fun.
I am a big kid. We are getting old, but you can't take the kid out of us.
If you're in his corner and he trusts you, there's no one better to be by your side.
Main hoon, David Shaitan Warner.
What does Uzi Khwaja's mom call you?
Shaitan. I think people don't realise that it's actually endearing way to say cheeky little devil. So, for me as a kid, I grew up playing alongside Uzi, and I'd always get these little cherries at tea time and start throwing them at the guys and leaving cherry stains because I thought it was funny. But I didn't realise that obviously Mum had to get the stains out, so they weren't too happy with me.
Complete family man, aren't you, David?
I am. Absolutely love my family. We do everything together. You know, they're my best friends. And that's why the girls come over here during the holidays. You know, we really enjoy family experiences, so going to the water parks, going to the other hotels, experiencing the food, embracing the culture. The girls absolutely love that. I think there's a bit of a stereotype from when I first started, you know. I used to be out there on the field, I used to sledge quite a bit. The mentality behind that was more that I was asked to be that person, to be the aggressor. And then once you start playing IPL and all the other leagues and you get to know people, and then they became friends, and your sledging becomes like stuff where you can make people laugh, or you know, talk about something when you're out there and get people's attention to take their mind off what they're doing. I really enjoy captaining. For me, I think I get the best out of myself, but I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge to hand down to a lot of the guys that come into the team. We've got some experienced players as well, which helps in the leadership stuff. But for us, it's about, you know, getting together as an experienced bunch of players and putting as many wins as we can together to hopefully win the tournament.
Natalie Germanos, Jones Waka and myself now. And look, I've really actually enjoyed David Warner, watching him in the captaincy role. He's found a little bit of form with the bat in the last couple of outings. No one is more relieved than him, though.
Oh, absolutely. He's been itching to make runs out there, and he knows he also wants to lead from the front because he's that type of player. He loves to be aggressive, but he loves to set a good tone up front, and it hasn't worked out in the beginning of the season for him. Again, he'll want to finish with a bang, obviously. I think that's going to be really important from his point of view, and make sure that he says, all right, I've come here, I've made my mark for my team, and I've ensured that I've made an impact for the Capitals.
And it's such a crucial time for his team. He will want to go out with a bang, and he's taking on the defending champs, the Golf Giants. How do you feel that whole setup's going to go? I mean, you look at Hetmyer, he's started to make some runs as well, another player that's come into form after we expected so much from last season. What do you think?
Look, it is sad that some of the players have to leave, you know, the players hitting form and then, you know, leaving at the wrong time. Some teams might struggle, but Hetmyer, it's been superb last inning, you know, the way he was hitting, the way he took on the spinners was just sublime. It was just good to watch the way he plays. I like the way he swings his bat with no fear at all. Him and Nicholas Purnes have always been my favourite T20 players.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. You are brilliant. Thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Cricket Stadium. A great night, especially for the Night Riders. We'll see you tomorrow for Match 24 of the DP World IL T20.